tear
things
the
today.
studio down. Why don't you?
We're gonna burn this place down. No, I'm just
JT,
kidding.
a rockstar in here burning shit down.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Reading Rainbow. I am LeVar Burton.
Okay, I didn't get that one at all.
That's because you didn't grow up here, bro.
I did
You
not.
didn't grow up in the
I
U.S.
did not.
Welcome back, everybody, to Convosariesep. I'm RJ.
I am Dash.
And I'm Trevin.
We have some special guests in the building with us today.
What's up?
Hey,
I'm JT from Echo Muse.
and I'm Andrew.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. How's everybody going? How was the week that we didn't see each other, dude? How's it been going?
The week has been busy, bro. I've been working, spending a lot of time in Orem, and just I came back from a retreat actually, which was pretty cool.
Why are you laughing? Who's laughing? Why are
He
you laughing?
forgot what he did
Oh.
this week. He just came back.
Dude,
I do that a lot.
I do a lot. It's hard
I
to remember
understand.
these things. So yeah, we just came back from a retreat. We went to a cabin and we just spent time getting to know each other, trying to grow the company as well. We went out shooting. That was fun.
Nice. What'd you shoot?
Shot a pistol, like 9mm
Okay,
bullets.
standard.
And we also shot AR-15s.
Okay.
That was fun. And there was some BB guns, but I didn't really use those.
So you used the ones with the real bullets.
Of course, dude.
Okay.
Of course.
On what and or who?
Bennett, of course. He was the first target. Nah, I'm kidding. Shouts out to the homie Bennett. Shouts out.
Was that your first time shooting guns?
Nah. I mean, I'm in America, bro. You know, Utah. Actually,
It's the Wild West.
the first time I shot guns was when I came to America.
I didn't know they shot guns out here in Utah.
You didn't?
No.
It's the Wild West.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it makes
the desert
sense.
is right there where I go shooting.
Yep.
It makes sense. I mean, but I'm from the South where Alabama, you go outside in your backyard because you live in the country.
Yeah.
Or like we hear more about Texas, but I get it. I get it.
You know, I actually spent a lot of time in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun experience.
What is that like?
Lots of tornadoes.
Oh,
Lots of
really?
taking cover. It's kind of like a war zone, but for nature.
Nature war zone.
Yeah, back at home we have tornado season, bro. Hurricane season,
Yeah.
tornado season. And
We
it's
don't have
actually it'll be coming up soon. So I'll be checking on my family there.
Got
My-
to.
My wife wants to go visit Oklahoma, just because that's like where I did a lot of my growing up and stuff.
Yeah.
But I keep on asking her, why? Why?
Just
I mean, I understand you want to see my childhood, but why?
but why? I
Why?
get that.
That's a death zone.
I get that. Yeah. I mean, I've been let's see, this past week I kind of forgot too. I won't lie, Trevin. I've just been working like, of course, always same shit, different toilet.
Same stuff, huh?
You know, that's all I'm saying. What's actually new? I don't think I actually have anything new.
I don't have news. I've been in here working.
In here working.
Waiting to do the next episode of Convosariesep for y'all.
Yeah.
Right.
Homies
What,
on that.
what have you been up to, JT?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot is an understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah, just been in and out of the studio making content. Been filming skits. That's been fun.
Nice.
So much fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Andrew does media for Echo Muse and stuff, but we also have our own band.
I hear he's a tech genius.
He sure is. He sure
I
is.
try to be the best I can be.
Hell yeah.
But he helps us with a lot of our media and stuff. But we are also in another band together called Outvoted.
Okay.
Shouts out to Outvoted.
Shouts
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Shouts out.
But yeah, we're in the middle of making a skit. And it's pretty funny so far.
Okay.
I can't really say too much about it because it's really hard to say anything about
Without
it.
spoilers. I get it.
Well, it's not even spoilers. It's just like a really hard concept to to explain.
You can't-
It's not as funny explaining it as it is just watching it.
Okay, I
It's like
got
some of
you.
those skits where it takes like 5 minutes to explain actually what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can't just like say that without losing somebody's interest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got you. Okay. Can't wait for it to drop.
So is that
Yeah,
pretty
it'll-
much what you've been up to, Andrew?
Actually, well, Outvoted's actually been in the studio quite some, a little bit, because we've actually been kind of tagging along with Echo Muse, and
Okay. Nice.
we're actually going to be releasing a song on April 15th,
Oh, nice.
and it's more of an acoustic song, kind of going away from what we previously released.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually about my mom. She passed away on April 15th, and so
Wow.
we decided that we're gonna release a song about her
Yeah.
on her anniversary.
Was this last
Awesome.
year?
Yeah, it was this last year.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I know. I'm sure that's hard.
But that's
It's been a roller coaster, man. She was like a second mom to me as well. She treated me like family, and she was like family to me.
Yeah, honestly, like a lot of people, they lose family members and stuff like that. And it's hard. It's really hard. Trust me, I lost an uncle.
Yeah.
But it's even harder when you lose a parent.
Yeah. I can't imagine, man.
Like and the funny thing is that I was a mama's boy, so I would always
Me
go
too.
to her. I would always go to her for my advice. And,
yeah.
now that she's gone, it's kind of like the whole world just got a blanket over it. And
Yeah.
It's like kind of gray.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like that's what that song is about. It's like trying to show her that, I'm not giving up on what I told her I was set out to do.
Right.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, bro.
Like
It is.
It's honestly, it's actually one of my first songs that I'm actually singing on.
Mm-hmm.
One
Oh.
of.
Yeah, he started out as a screamer,
Okay.
and
That was,
he's been kind of under my wing. I've been trying to explain to him what I do personally, and it's been working really, really well.
yeah, I've been catching on pretty good. For the most part.
I'm really excited for everyone to hear what we've been working on, but yeah.
Now, for the people out there listening who do not know what screaming is,
Oh, boy.
what?
Explain, JT. Explain what you do, who you are, and
Yeah.
Echo
And how
Muse.
you
Yeah,
do
we
it.
need
Yeah,
to
okay.
know. We need to
Let's,
know.
Well,
let's
so-
introduce that.
Yeah.
Well, it all started when I was born.
Let's actually start with how Echo Muse came together. Let's do that.
Yeah. So, it's kind of a funny story. So I just live in I can't speak today. I just left a band called Risen for Revenge.
Okay.
That was my old band.
Yeah, also his old band too. But or rather we broke up. It was kind of a mutual thing.
Okay.
I'll
So,
say.
Right.
but anyway,
Kind
so
of a Creed thing, eh?
so the band had just broken up, and I'm kind of depressed at this point. I have nothing else going for me, other than me being in high school, and that sucks. I hated school.
Yeah.
As I'm sure a lot of people do, but I almost knocked down my headphones.
The
You're
frustration is real.
You're good. I hated school.
hate it so much.
Fuck education.
No, actually, my mother was thinking about radically unschooling me.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Radically. Now, how is
yes.
that different from
So essentially,
regularly
what
unschooling
happens
you?
is, you're not part of any school system. You're not being homeschooled.
Oh, okay.
Like
That's
you
very
are,
radical.
you're literally just skipping school.
You're off the
Now,
grid.
can't your mother go to jail, or can't they
Nope.
take you away from her?
Nope, absolutely not.
Is there like a piece of paper that you signed?
So no, actually, so there is no law saying that kids have to go to school.
And
It's
that's-
just wildly frowned upon.
Is that here in Utah, or is
It's
that
everywhere in the United States.
Huh.
But I got a truancy ticket.
They lied to
What?
us.
I got truancy tickets for being out of school. I used to
Okay.
Well,
say-
so here's the
Explain
thing.
that
Well,
one.
so here's the thing. No, if you're enrolled in school and you're skipping out on school, that's a completely different story.
Oh.
Done that.
But
Okay.
just not like you not having been enrolled in school and you just just not, going to
Okay.
school. That's a completely different thing.
That's how people start cults.
No,
I'm gonna radically unenroll my kid from school.
Well, so here's
we're
the
doing our
thing.
own thing.
Here's the thing. The way this actually started with was my mom's friend.
Okay.
She radically unschooled her kids, and she was one of the first ones to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
But they came out to be major successes
Nice.
because they followed their passion.
Right.
It wasn't a matter of what do if I don't get a high school degree, I can't get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not necessarily true. You can start your own business. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
You don't need a college degree to do that.
Right.
You just need to learn.
And that's becoming less of a thing like every day
Yeah,
in
exactly.
today's world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
More people are learning how to become an entrepreneur.
On the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can find anything you want on the internet.
Yeah.
You
So-
can do anything you want if you're passionate about it enough and you're good enough at it. Like you can make a living off of it, even just on YouTube.
Exactly, and that's the whole point. My mom's friend, her son, grew up to be a millionaire.
No.
He didn't go to school.
Uh-huh.
And I can't say that's the route that everybody should take.
Right.
If you want to be a doctor, yes, go to school.
God,
You-
please.
Yes.
Please go to school.
but if I feel like that should be more of a personal choice. I think school is important as far as learning social cues and
Right.
just learning how to live with people in general.
And
Like a community.
And on that note, I'm gonna call that the devil's advocate today.
Okay.
So so for those of you who don't know what devil's advocate is yet, it is a segment that we do at the very, very end, where it's just we bring up a topic and we choose sides, debate that side, and
Gotcha.
have at it.
Like devil's
So
advocate
Let's do
if
it.
You want argue it, but we bring up a question and then think about it the whole episode, and we'll argue it at the end.
And so the question today is, do you think formal education is necessary?
Okay.
Oh damn,
That's a
deep.
good question.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes
Just
into
in
that.
general, yes, formal
But-
education.
But let me get back to what the question actually was,
Right.
which was how did Echo Muse get started? We veered way off track.
That's all right.
That was an interesting route that we took.
Hey, we got today's devil's advocate,
Exactly.
so there we go.
But anyway, so I was still in high school at this point. Now I had been involved in music my entire life, from the age of 5, and I was like, well, I really need to get something going. And conveniently enough,
Wait, you were 5 and you were thinking?
yes,
About that?
when I
Wow.
was 5, I started when I was 5, I started learning how to play drums.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I started playing.
How did that come about? Like you just saw someone playing drums on TV and you wanted to play them, or what?
So, not necessarily. I always had this. Well, I've always been interested in singing.
Yeah.
That was always my biggest passion. But I forget who it was, but someone bought me bongos, and I started really getting into that, and then I started taking drum lessons.
Cool.
And then from there, I started picking up bass and guitar, and I learned all of those by ear. I didn't have any formal education on that. I just learned how to do it myself.
So can you read music?
I cannot. I can't even read tablature.
Okay.
Nice. I
That-
respect
That's
that.
not even a crutch for you.
It's all about that noise.
It's the thing is like, if you know what major and minor scales are,
Yeah.
they're really. I mean,
there is a way for you to teach your ears how to read.
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
That's a
How to read
good
an
way to put it.
instrument.
Gotcha.
And the thing is, if I were to play a note, I couldn't tell you if it was a G or an F. Like I couldn't,
Okay.
I couldn't do that. But what I can do is write, or at least attempt to write things that sound good.
Right.
Yeah.
Something good, something catchy.
Something that
And
goes along
something
with
heavy.
that key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put all those three into the mix. I think it makes for something really cool.
Okay.
But so whenever I was in school, what happened was, the band had broken up, and I started going, like, well, what do I do now? And conveniently enough, the owner of In the Venue hit me up.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, hey, is your band Risen for Revenge still around? I was like, no, we actually just broke up
shit.
the other week. They're like, oh, shoot. Well, we really want you to play this show. And keep in mind, In the Venue was like the big,
That was the go-to.
yeah,
Okay.
like all the big bands came through there,
Nice.
other than USANA Amphitheater. And
Where was this now?
it was in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
It's like right down the street from the UTA Frontrunner Station.
What was the name of the venue?
In the Venue.
Oh, that's the
Yeah,
name
that's-
of
that's
it.
the
Okay,
name of it.
Okay, dope.
Oh, is it the one by Central Point?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Got it. That's a cool spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had and they keep in mind they had like two stages, the smaller stage and the bigger stage.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted us to play on the bigger stage.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, I'm sorry that band just broke up, a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, we were really wanting you to open up. I was like, well, I can make another band.
Okay.
You have like
Problem
45
solved.
days to do it. You think you can come up with a 45-minute set in like 45 days.
That's
Yes.
a lot of time to cover on stage.
So,
Yeah.
stupidly, I agreed to that. And I got a whole band together, and we played the show. It was awful. But we started getting a fan base after that. So I was like, okay, maybe this would be a cool project to go forward with. Yeah. So I wrote more and more, and eventually I just got to a point in my life where I was like, you know what, I actually really, really need to focus on my life,
Right.
Instead of music. And this is back around like 2013 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Now, how old were you at this point?
good question. I have to think back. I'm 26 now.
Okay.
18, 19?
18,
I'd say.
19?
Yeah, something like that.
I was
Yeah.
about to be 26, and I was 18 in 2012.
Okay, yeah.
2013.
So it was at that point I made the decision to go to Job Corps.
That's where you and
Shout
Trevor
out.
met, right?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
It is where we met.
Oh,
Shouts
shouts
out.
out.
I met my wife there too.
Nice.
Shouts out.
out. Yeah.
Shouts
And you
out.
met Will
Yeah.
there too, right? Or
No, I met
Before.
Will at a different place.
got you.
Yeah, so at that point we just decided, I'm gonna leave the band.
Mm-hmm.
This band that I worked so hard for, I just stepped back from it. I didn't have any intention of coming back. And shortly after I left, they broke up.
Wow.
So at this point, I'm near the end of my Job Corps stuff, and my old guitarist says, hey, my vocalist is having problems. Would you mind helping him out? I was like, sure, I can do that. So he came over, we did a few sessions, and he texted me again. He's like, dude, whatever you taught him is still not working. I was like, okay. So I'm like, well, do you mind if I come and sit on a practice? See if I can find anything in particular he's doing wrong, or things that would just make it easier on him.
Right.
So I go over there, and they're like, he's acting like a complete diva. He thinks he's writing this amazing material. He's not. I was like, okay, well, let me take a listen. And sure enough, that's really what it was. So I said to them, I was like, well, it's your guys' choice, but I think you guys should just find another vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
And like not even 10 minutes later, he comes back and he's like, you know what? I don't think this project is for me. I'm quitting the band.
Okay.
Like, oh,
Okay.
well, that just made things 10 times easier. Okay, man. But no, man, we get it.
Do your thing.
Exactly.
I support that.
So no feelings hurt there. It was cool. And then they're like, well, would you mind filling in on vocals until we can find another vocalist?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I can help you guys out for a little bit.
Right.
I kind of need to get myself back in the scene anyway.
Okay.
So the more I played with them, the more we recorded stuff, the more I fell in love with it.
Okay.
So after about 2 or 3 singles, I took over writing.
Oh, nice.
Which it's kind of odd. So it was me and our drummer who started writing everything for the band. And that's how Speechless came about. So, we made that whole album, and that's led us to now. White Noise has been our biggest song so far, but I guess if I had to choose any song off of that album that I like the best, it either has to be Invincible or Leashes.
Okay. I was actually going to ask that. Yeah,
I saw it in your eyes, man.
man. You were reading my eyes over here.
Shouts out to Speechless. Check that out on all platforms. I have
Shouts
the album
out.
physically in my car. I have the CD in the
Oh,
truck.
you still got physical albums, bro?
We sure
Oh,
do.
yeah, I go to the
CDs.
shows and I buy them, dude.
So,
yeah.
do you guys think that's a lost
Buy
art?
merch.
The physical
Buy merch.
CD.
That it's a tricky question. I think they have in a way become obsolete, but I think in a let's say you went to your favorite artist's concert.
Yeah.
You're not buying the CD to necessarily listen to it, because you can listen to that anywhere.
Yeah.
It's more of like a souvenir.
Yeah.
And I think
It means
in-
something
in
different
that,
now.
Exactly.
It's kinda
You
like
get that signed.
I feel like it's kind of like getting a vinyl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
exactly what it's
Yeah.
like.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
And one day it's going to be just as prestigious.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's gonna
that's
be like
awesome.
gold.
So I don't think it's necessarily a lost art as much as I think it is. It's something you buy at a merch stand.
Yeah.
It's not something you go into the store and be like, I need to pick up the CD now.
Yeah.
Like nobody does that now, unless you're 40, 50 years old, and you're like, you still have a car that plays CDs. Like
Yeah.
that's
You
not
said
how it
40,
works these days.
40 or 50.
My car
And
plays
even
CDs.
then, they use aux cords
Yeah.
or Bluetooth.
Hey, man, what's
It's-
wrong
it's-
with Bluetooth?
No, that's what I'm saying.
I use Bluetooth.
That's what I'm saying.
And an aux cord.
That's what I'm saying. Like
the point.
that's
Okay.
where
okay,
where
good.
music
I'm on the right.
that's where
end of the
music has
spectrum
gone.
here. Okay.
That's just where music has gone.
It's
Yeah.
always
it-
going to evolve.
Exactly,
Always.
Everything's
exactly.
evolving
So
every day.
Yeah.
I think the real thing is you have to be smart about where you put your stuff and how you're presenting it.
That's true. So, are you an independent artist, bro?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, and we intend to stay that way.
Got you.
Um,
So,
Yeah,
what's
we
the
both are.
importance of owning your masters?
I mean that's a very broad question. So the big thing about not being tied down to a label.
Yeah.
So let's say, Sumerian Records came up to us and said, hey, we want to do a contract with you guys. Okay, how long is the contract? If they tell me like it's like 5 years or 5 albums, we're stuck with them for that 5 albums. And what happens is if we don't sell, then they just kind of put us on the back burner. They put us on a shelf. And they can either drop us right then, or they can
String
continue.
you along.
Exactly, and that's no way to go. And then you're restricted to their policies. And
I was just going to bring that up. They kind of warp your sound because they own it.
Yeah.
exactly,
And it's their vision.
exactly. And the thing is, not all records are that strict, but some can be. Especially if you don't read your contracts and stuff. Let's take Our Last Night, for example.
Shouts out.
Yeah. Our Last Night is cool. But here's the thing. They stayed independent. And because of that, they're all they did was release covers.
Mhm.
They're a cover band.
Right. And they're making it.
They did it so well that they're getting millions of views on every video that they post.
But here's my question. Sumerian, right? Sumerian?
Yeah.
If Sumerian next week, what's today? Sunday?
Yeah.
This week, Tuesday, if they called you, got in touch with one of you, and said, all right, 3-year contract, 2 albums, guaranteed $950,000. Would
Okay.
you do it?
Okay, well, So I have a very
I just didn't want to say $1 million. That was
No,
so
no.
cliche.
no, you're fine.
$1,050,000.
Well, it depends. Is that $950 for just the entire 3 years, or is that like annually?
It is.
Oh, gotcha.
That's a good question. All right,
So you have to be hella specific.
you have the
too.
option to make $3 million, like
Okay.
through sales and all. You have the option, and then you get a stipend.
Okay.
But it comes out of that $3 million over the 3 years.
Well, so let me
Comes out of your travel.
Yeah, well, so
expenses, all that
exactly,
jazz.
and see, that's just what I was just about to bring up. So, essentially, what record labels are, they are a band's loan company.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, you know, they
Okay.
pay for your tours.
Right.
They pay for,
Studio.
yeah, exactly. You know, all those expenses come out of what you make, and if you're only making, you know, 30-40% of what you guys earn, then what's the point?
In the end, you're walking away with about $1 million, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
After everything is covered for the 3 years, you personally have $1 million. Everything else has been covered in your expenses.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do? Would you do it?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, and so the reason
For
why
3 short years, 2 albums.
absolutely.
Okay.
And the reason why is because, you know, let's look at that. You know, let's say that was the stipulation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we get 40%, which is actually quite a lot. You know, when you think about record labels.
Okay.
But you get 40% of all the profits.
Yeah.
Right. So we take a look at these two things. Yeah, being on a record label could be, I emphasize, could be
Mm-hmm.
your fast track to success.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were,
But.
but if you were to, let's say, oh, I am just trying to break
Tear the
things today.
studio down. Why don't you?
We're gonna burn this place down. I'm just
JT
kidding.
is a rock star in here burning shit down.
Everywhere he goes.
No, so you know, you take a look at at these two side by side. I'd rather take my chances, you know, doing I think there's a sense of accomplishment
Mm-hmm.
that comes with you know, you did this yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you made it here. Nobody made it happen for you. You did it.
Yeah.
Dude, you have no idea how good it feels to see DistroKid and
Mhm.
see the fact that, like, I have money coming in.
Right.
And that we did it.
Nice.
Exactly,
going to
exactly.
somebody.
You know, that didn't come
Yeah.
from record labels. That didn't come from outside sources.
Yeah.
We made that happen.
Uh-huh.
You made a product
And-
sold it yourself.
Exactly, and
And it's easy for people to find it.
exactly.
And Andrew, you're doing the media, right?
Yeah.
Social media, all that, the marketing. You're doing that?
So I do media as far as, like, visuals.
Okay. Okay. Talk to me about that.
So every show that they do,
Mm-hmm.
I film.
Okay.
everything.
You put it online, or is it like for
So, here's
the
funny
vault?
thing. I've got a 6 terabyte hard drive
Wow.
with Echo Muse stuff.
Wow.
And that's actually how we came out with the new video that's coming out on the 25th.
Nice.
Spilling Out.
It'll be out by the time everyone hears this.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
So we're not-
stay
We're not
tuned.
linking it. You can plug it right now.
Yeah. Go ahead and plug it.
Well, Spilling Out is coming out on the 25th. Guys, go get it on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon.
Whatever
Any streaming service you can think of, we're on it.
service.
Go get that shit.
Stream.
Get that shit.
Go get it.
or listen to it.
but something I feel like the people watching should know. You know, you're gonna listen to the song and then look at the video and say this doesn't even match up. Like lyrically speaking, like none of this is relevant at all. But I think it is.
Okay.
And you know, it shows us having fun and you know what we're like as people and who we are as a band.
All right.
Shows the realism.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And you know, shows our good moments, shows our bad moments.
Mhm.
But so the song is about my health issues.
Okay.
I have a tumor wrapped around my spinal cord. And that causes me to go into convulsing fits, which can last anywhere from 10 minutes to the longest I've timed so far is 8 hours.
That is a long time.
In fact, I'm
You had one
most
this
times
morning.
after a show I go into convulsing fits.
You went into one this morning.
Oh,
I
shit.
sure did. That one lasted about 3 hours.
How long in between times do you have convulsive fits? Like, are you just gonna like fucking right now? Just like
I usually feel it coming on.
okay.
So there's definitely plenty of warning.
What causes it? Is it like a seizure where it lights or
it's not.
anything?
It's not a seizure, and people oftentimes think it is a seizure, but it's not. I'm conscious all the way through it. It just causes my body to spasm
Right.
and contort in weird positions.
Okay.
I don't really know what that like. So earlier, when I was about 15 or so, I had the same exact problem. But I didn't let it go on for so long where I was going to convulsing fits. But I would say about half the time now, I'm in a wheelchair.
Okay.
It's
Does that affect you performing?
it does in the sense that
I've had to carry him off stage several times.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's hard, but we work through it.
Yeah.
Dude, respect to you guys for that
Good
because
friend, dude.
you're
Yeah,
pushing
too,
through it,
like-
man. You
Hell
know,
yeah.
a lot of
Every
people
show
make
is it.
excuses and they don't make the first step, but
That's so true.
you're
Dash.
continuing to do it. So respect, dude.
dude, and the thing is, the whole point of this music video is that, and the thing is also, I should mention this too. So, earlier this year I was having a lot of not this year, 2019. It's 2020 now. But either way, so earlier in 2019 I was having stomach problems.
Okay.
And stomach problems have always been like a problem for me. But recently, they told me I had ulcers and stuff. So, I was treating my ulcers and whatnot. And I went in. I've probably gone into the ER at least like 5 or 6 times in the past year.
Okay.
Just due to stomach problems. And the last time I went there, they told me, all right, so what's going on? Well, I'm experiencing a lot of ulcer-related pain. Well, I don't think that's the problem, but please continue.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, okay. Well, this is what I'm experiencing. And every time I've come in here, they've told me either it's my ulcers or they've told me it's just a virus. There's no way 6 times out of that year it was a virus. And I told the ER person that. I was like, please do not tell me it's a virus. I will freak out.
Yeah.
And she's like, wait, that's what they've told you? Like, yeah. Well, okay, let me go run some tests and I'll be back.
Yeah.
So about 2 hours later, she comes back. She's like, well, I can't say for sure. We still need to do a little bit further testing, but just based off your symptoms and where your white blood cell count is at, it looks like Crohn's disease.
Oh shit.
So I was like, okay, well, what do I do for that? Nothing.
Yeah. There's no
But-
cure for Crohn's.
And
I watch a lot of Grey's Anatomy, bro. I'm basically a doctor.
You're basically a doctor.
I'm basically a surgeon right now.
so with that on top of my back problems, it's over the past year and a half, couple years have just been really, really rough. So this music video it's about my health problems. The song itself is about my health problems. Just me kind of hitting my breaking point. And I don't know, just kind of, it's like, whenever you're so sick, and the problem is it doesn't end.
Yeah.
So if it just feels like, the sickness doesn't only
Look on the
affect my
time,
body; it affects my mind.
I'm gonna have to pass on that
You know,
time.
there's a lot of days where I say to myself, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah. I would imagine so.
And this music video is really just about no matter what life throws at my way, this band, what I've accomplished and what my goals are, this is ultimately where I want to be, no matter how hard it gets.
Yeah. Okay.
This makes it worth it.
You seem very passionate about it. I'm convinced now that you wouldn't take that contract. You've convinced me.
He's not selling out. You heard it here first. on Convosariesep.
You heard it here first.
You
He's
know
not
it.
a fucking sellout, bitches.
Nope.
That's what's up. So Andrew, you got to finish telling us, bro. So tell us about the media part, and you said you film the shows and everything when you're there, and
Yeah.
you're an editor. You put them up.
Yeah, so I take video at concerts and stuff.
Right.
And I try to get some of the crowd,
Mhm.
obviously,
Hype.
and yeah, it's actually pretty fun because like I not only do I get to experience like video editing, but I get to experience how a band works.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Oh, I bet that's interesting.
so yeah, so it's like I get to implement some of the things that Echo Muse is doing into my own band,
Mm-hmm.
Outvoted, and so like that's kind of the direction that we're kind of going with this.
Right.
But like for media and stuff like that, it's generally just like doing videos, showing the visuals on everything,
Okay.
and like being the guy that has the camera because no one else will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's also another thing. It's kind of hard being the cameraman because you don't get it in any of the videos.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks.
I like
but,
to make some cameos in my own videos, but yeah.
But yeah, like and see the failing me video that's on their page. The live
Yeah,
version,
the live version.
I actually like kind of made a slight cameo because I was kind of moving around with the camera in the video.
Yeah.
But in that one we actually
That's how
had
go see that video.
yeah.
Yes.
It's cool.
But in
Go
that
subscribe to our YouTube channel.
One, yes.
It's dope. Seen it.
we actually have 3 camera angles going.
Okay.
So we had my iPhone, which was
Mhm.
the top view.
Mm-hmm.
We had my brother's Note 8, which
Right.
was on my gimbal,
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
and which is what that camera is on. And
Stabilizer there.
yes. And then
Beautiful
we also had my
equipment.
brother's DSLR, his Canon.
Nice.
And so if you notice, like in that video, you got some black and white shots.
Mm-hmm.
That's from the DSLR.
Right.
And then the other camera angles that you saw that were moving that were not in black and white, that
Yeah.
was off the Note 8.
Okay.
So that kind of gives you a little idea on like how like we videotape it.
Yeah.
And then once I go into Premiere Pro,
Mm-hmm.
Adobe, you guys rock.
Shouts out.
Shouts out.
So basically what I do is I put everything on time, like video and audio.
Okay.
And what I do is I consider it splicing.
Mm-hmm.
And I splice everything together, that way everything is on time.
All right.
And then go through
Nice.
each individual
Nice.
video
That's- oof.
to find the
Beautiful.
best visual of
Mhm.
the band. And go and kind of go in between it to try to, equal it out to where each band member has their limelight
Yeah.
on certain parts.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
So Andrew,
It does have to
How
work for
much-
you. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
how much of all of that footage you capture do you end up using in the end result?
Final cut.
I was gonna ask that question,
I
Dash.
asked it first.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you're too late, man.
In all reality, we only use about 10 to 20% of it.
Ooh.
Right? And isn't that
That's
insane?
not a lot. That's not a lot of footage.
It's
I was
not.
thinking maybe
It's
like
not.
30.
Yeah.
So, so think about something like a big production, as in a movie,
Right.
right? Which is about an hour, maybe 2, maybe
hours
3
upon hours
that's a
upon
lot of
hours of
record.
actual footage,
days,
angles,
months, bro.
rewrites,
Yeah. But it's a beautiful
scenes.
process.
yeah, I
and-
believe it.
And see, the actual spilling out music video,
Uh huh.
we've spent about 6 months on it.
Wow.
Just like putting video together
Yeah.
and like periodically adding more as we go along.
Oh, amazing.
Wow,
And
that's
splicing each part as we go along. So say for instance we're in the studio
Yeah.
and something funny happens and I happen to record it, it's going in the video.
I bet you have like a bunch of like behind the scenes footage.
Actually,
guy.
we have a behind the scenes video
He's
that
the guy.
we're going to be releasing. for
Absolutely, yes.
Nice.
Saturday, and we're going to be splitting that into 2 parts because it's kind of long.
Nice.
Yeah, that video is like what, 12 minutes?
Yeah.
Something like that. So basically, that was just like all the behind the scenes stuff that was during the filming of Failing Me.
Right.
And
Is it gonna have the music over it?
No, well, I mean, yes and no.
Okay.
It shows us filming with the music playing in the background.
Gotcha.
That would
but-
tight in the video.
But all in all,
Okay.
it just kind of shows us having fun as a band.
Right.
It was the first music video that our new guitarists, our new guitarists, are in.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a fun video shoot.
Now, I do want to kind of get into just a few up-to-date topics that have been going on in pop culture here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But before we do that, let's get into this. I wanted to hear. We were talking about the screaming.
Yeah.
Why don't you
Yeah.
Why don't you let everyone know what you're talking about?
Yeah. So when it comes to screaming,
I mean, like an
now-
example.
well, okay, so
You're
before
in a metal band.
yeah, so there's 2 different types of screams. Generally speaking, at least.
Okay.
You have your fry screaming, which is what I mainly do.
Fry,
Fry.
as in French.
No.
Okay.
The same word.
Like vocal
All
fry.
right. All right.
And vocal fry is kind of like where you slow your voice down.
Okay.
Let's just pick a pitch.
Okay. Okay. Kind of a deeper.
So, and all you're doing is you're amplifying that sound.
All right.
So, it sounds, kind of gradually getting up to that point where you're screaming, or screaming, I should put in quotations there, because it's really not screaming. All you're doing is you're adding distortion
Right.
to this vocal fry. So, whenever, you kind of build that up,
Yeah.
We might
and
have-
how high or
should've
low you
warned
go
everybody.
is dependent on your mouth shape.
Right.
So if I make an ooh or ah noise, I'm gonna go lower.
Uh huh.
If I'm making a or e noise,
Yeah.
it's gonna go higher.
Okay. And Andrew's going
Yes,
in on it too.
yes,
then.
Like I said, he was a screamer. But
That's
before,
what she said.
well, yes, before you started moving on to clean vocals, and now you do both.
Yeah.
But so that's fry.
Mhm.
False chord is more of the actual like screaming thing. And
Okay.
the way I've always explained it, and a lot of other people explain it. Picture yourself whenever you were younger. Your parents told you to go do the dishes.
Uh huh.
What's the sound you make?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's like an exasperated sigh. Well, let's extend that out a little bit. And then we add voice to it.
Okay. Yeah.
And then then the highs are the exact same way, as fries are. It all depends on your mouth shape.
Right.
I can go low, oh, or I can go high.
Yeah.
Hi!
Okay. Okay.
It's
I think I prefer fry.
Yeah, I had no idea.
yeah.
And that's one thing that I'd like to use this platform to talk about. A lot of people think that that has it takes no talent. And shout out to Jared Dines. I saw
Shout
his
out.
videos.
I love Jared Dines. I love
Jared
him.
Dines on YouTube. Check him out. But he does this video where he goes around in public and it shows and asks people to metal scream.
Yeah.
And people can't do it, and he proved that it does take talent, and it's not just. I mean,
Absolutely. You know, it took me a long time to really figure it out. You know, it's one thing to say, "Oh, I can scream." It's another thing to feel completely comfortable with it.
Right.
Because you could go on stage and then all of a sudden it's not as great as you think it was.
Yeah.
And I think that goes for any vocalist.
Okay.
You know, I
felt
think
that.
I think it all just comes down to experience. I do want to go on record saying that a lot of people say, either you have it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's true. I think that you can do whatever you want. I don't think that music is like a thing where either you have it or you don't. It's teachable.
Right. Agreed. I agree.
The one thing that's not teachable is
agree.
passion.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Having the passion for it is not teachable. That's something that you have to decide yourself.
Right.
And that's really where it comes down to.
Right.
Is do you have the passion? Do you have the drive to do this?
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you this much. 5 years ago, I didn't know how to do half the shit that I know how to do today. I'm telling you this right now.
Right.
I don't know half,
And
half
you're
the
still
shit that I
figuring
know
it out,
now,
huh?
It didn't exist to me 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're always learning.
Yeah.
The learning never stops. And no matter how great you think you are, there's always going to be someone better than you.
Yeah.
Right.
And whatever way
stay
you.
humble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be the
You know-
best you can be.
And that's the other thing.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Originality.
Yeah. People appreciate originality, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of people make the argument that, there's no such thing as original music anymore. It's all been done.
Mm.
And I agree with that to a point. Maybe in a sense that, the chords have been used in the same way before. That's been done before.
Right.
But you can make an entirely different song out of that.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes down to,
I see what you're saying.
it all just kind of comes down to, how you want to make the song.
I got you.
I could play the same 4 chords and make a million different songs out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people overcomplicate the songwriting process.
Right.
By trying to be what we think of as original.
Yeah.
Rewrite songs because every song has already been made.
I sometimes what I'll
Right.
do is I'll take a Katy Perry song. I'll take just whatever song I'm feeling at the time,
Yeah.
and I'll reverse the chords.
Yeah. That's what's
Just completely
You would
reverse them.
never
yeah.
recognize it.
up. I believe it. But that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So I did, like I said, want to talk about some
Yes.
stuff in other news.
Yes,
Okay.
please
So-
do.
Other news.
Last week, did you guys know that the Earth was supposed to be blown up by a comet the size of Texas? Did you guys know that?
Oh, dude, I
Um,
forgot. That happens like once a
I've
year now.
I've never
that's the
heard
thing now,
I
huh?
never heard about that.
Yeah. It was a comet the size of Texas. It was supposed to hit the day after Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how many people were like,
How convenient for it to be after Valentine's
right? It
Day.
was the day after, dude.
I had
Like,
to live through that day.
it was on Side Chick Day.
Side chick.
Side
yeah.
chick.
Yeah.
Goddamn government.
So the side chicks, it was
conspiracy.
close. They almost didn't make it. Other news. So I watched this show called The Breakfast Club. Well, it's
Okay.
a radio show. I love that freaking show.
Shouts
They
out.
present it as a podcast too.
So,
Shouts out. And on Charlemagne the God does a section called Donkey of the Day, where he gives people the credit for being the jackasses that they are.
Yes, you know what? Who also does something kind of like that?
Who's that?
X96.
here in the hometown.
Nice.
Yeah,
Carrie,
here-
Bill, and Gina every
X90s.
morning.
Yes, they do
Shouts
boner
out.
boner of the week.
Boner.
They
Nice.
expanded it. It was such a popular.
Oh, is it boner
it
of
used to
the?
just be like boner of the day, but now they do 3 boners of the day, and then they do boner fight.
Oh
At
dang,
the
bona
end of
fide.
Oh,
the end of the
yeah,
show.
yeah.
That's
But,
awesome.
Who's the biggest one? Yeah.
on this one donkey of the day this past week, this black guy kidnapped this white lady to and made her watch Roots all the way through, all 9 hours of the movie Roots, to show her how racist white people were. You guys know what Roots is?
No.
I don't.
You guys have never heard of Roots? Trevin, do you know what Roots is?
Oh shit! Should I?
I've heard of Roots. I've never watched
Yes.
it.
I'm gonna kidnap you white guys and make you watch Roots.
You're on Convosariesep,
No,
ladies and
So
gentlemen.
basically, it's the story about this African. It's like a few generations of like they came over from the boat or whatever, and then like they were slaves, and then it's a few generations of a story told. But it's 9 hours long. It's like the most popular slave movie ever. But anyway, so he
I don't
kidnapped
watch a lot of stuff.
he kidnapped this racist lady, right? And made her watch the 9 hours that it takes to watch that movie to show her how racist white people are. Would you not just be more racist after that? It's like,
That was
fuck
not a
this
wild
black guy.
thought.
What
Does
the
it
fuck?
confirm it in your mind?
It's like a manual to how to be racist, I guess.
Right. It's like, yeah, you want to be racist? Even
Watch
more
this
racist?
thing. Watch this.
Watch this. This is what your people did to me. Well, you deserve it if you're going to treat everybody else like this.
Oh,
Who's that
crazy,
black
dude.
guy that's been infiltrating the KKK lately? Like it was like,
Lately or
like that movie.
back in the
Oh,
70s?
the movie?
No, there was like a movie
Yeah.
about, but then there was like a
I
guy
forgot-
who
I
was
forgot the movie.
actually doing that.
But that was a
recently.
good movie. The Black Klansman. That's
Yeah.
what it's
Is that
called. Yeah.
Yeah,
was
that
it?
was a comedy, wasn't it? But there's a guy in
kinda
real
was.
life doing that.
Well, it was based on a real guy.
Yeah,
I know
was
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different movie that was a comedy.
Django Unchained.
I'm
No.
uncultured when it comes to movies.
Experiencing some.
That's not on the. That sucks.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
alright.
What did you ask?
Um,
What was the question? Because for some reason mine is
Just turn
working.
that
Black
on the
Klansman.
internet. Oh.
Yeah, mine's working.
That's alright. Did you guys hear about Jeff Bezos giving up $10 billion towards helping climate change?
Yeah, respect.
Shouts
Shouts
out.
out
There
to
you go.
It
Jeff
was-
Bezos.
Alright.
It got up to 67 degrees in Antarctica.
Wow.
This past week. Yes.
That's warm.
This past week, it got
That's
up to
dangerously
67
warm.
fucking degrees, guys.
It was
That's like-
dangerously warm.
Jeez.
That's not even chilly.
That's not even like a little breeze.
Compared to Utah, right?
It's not even a little breeze.
It gets cold over here.
It
man.
is.
I mean,
It's-
it's been a
it's
warm
pretty
winter
cold.
this year. It's global warming, definitely.
I was just thinking, like, fucking 67 degrees back in Alabama is hot.
The world is going,
It's hot.
Big Mouth for the win.
Um,
You know they're trying to get that banned?
yeah.
who?
Big Mouth?
They're
No.
Social media
What?
is trying to
I don't know if you guys ever. I don't know if you guys watch Big Mouth.
No.
You don't watch Big Mouth?
I know it's a show.
No.
You need to.
Should I?
It's
Oh,
on
Yeah, you
Netflix.
should.
Dude.
Okay.
It's on Netflix.
But here's the thing. They're trying to ban it now. And there's like a petition going around to ban it.
The
Wow.
show.
Huh?
It's an
They're trying to ban the
animated
show?
comedy, but it's about young kids going through puberty.
Why do
Yeah,
they
like,
want
it's
to?
not-
I've seen clips.
Cancel it.
I've seen clips.
So, but it's extremely inappropriate.
Yes,
and
I've
it's-
seen
and it's
inappropriate
kids.
clips.
But I feel like it's okay because it's representing like everybody has felt like it's all about embarrassing shit like sexual
Oh.
shit. like,
Yeah.
in
I
your,
felt
like,
triggered
going
when
through
I
puberty.
first watched it. Let me just
Really?
I was like, what's going on here? Why
The
is
only
this
reason
so-
why it
so
triggers people is because it's true.
familiar? Yeah, exactly.
But
It's,
it's, just
you
life.
know?
It's not meant to be sexy. It's not meant to be anything.
Yeah, it's the
Just
realness.
life.
It's just truth.
Nice.
The
It's
realness.
just like here's what fucking people go through.
But people are saying it's inappropriate. Inappropriate, much like Pornhub getting thrown out of a library in Southern California for filming inside.
Filming
What?
in the
Wow.
library.
Filming inside the library.
This isn't a man
And they had
getting
to take
kicked
it
out
down.
for watching Pornhub on the library computer.
Well, they
This is
didn't get kicked
Pornhub
out. They had to
recording
take it
video.
down. Yeah,
Oh, that's
they were
interesting.
recording in the library in Southern
Oh.
California.
Shit.
It makes me
That's
a little
crazy.
upset because I kind of want to see what the video was now.
Right.
I mean,
You can
I,
find anything on there.
That's a rich topic
Alright.
topic right there.
I was just
I-
saying.
I am going to go get more wine because I'm a basic white girl.
Hey,
Dude, it's right behind us.
batch.
Go get it.
So, another thing, do you guys travel at all?
They actually went on tour last year. I couldn't go because
Oh.
oh shit. Well, looks like
I mean,
Echo
travel.
died.
Does anybody travel like on airplanes? Is what I mean.
Sometimes.
Actually,
I love being on airplanes.
So
Nice.
I actually did travel on an airplane
Yeah.
earlier this last year, because I went to go meet up with a girl and her family,
Nice.
and I was there for about.
Whoa.
I was there for about a few days,
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty. I went to Arizona, by the way. It was really hot. Really hot.
I haven't been there yet.
But
Yeah, neither have I. I gotta go. Is that where the Grand Canyon is?
I don't know.
I think so. It's actually some in southern Utah. It like spans like a.
Because it's a river. It's not just one big hole.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
old
I'm gonna
river.
look
Yeah.
that up. Where is the Grand Canyon?
I was just about to. I was like, we can't.
It's in your
We
butt.
can't not know that. We're all Americans, except for that.
So the reason why I asked if you guys like fly at all is because this lady has been in the news that this lady like was mad at Delta because the stewardess didn't do anything because the dude she reclined her chair, yeah. And the dude like got pissed off and started punching the back of her, like the seat, the
kidding
head,
Are you
and
kidding me?
yeah,
Wow.
started punching the back of her head. You know what I mean?
Did the gimbal die?
I think so.
Oh, that we didn't
Was it
anticipate the
battery
gimbal
power?
dying. We were like,
Well, you gotta
does
charge
the phone have enough battery life? Does it have enough amount of space to film? We didn't think about the gimbal.
For those of you
So
wondering,
that has to charge?
for those of you listening and wondering what's going on,
Oh.
It charges with a micro USB.
I don't even know the stabilizer
right
that's
there.
holding one of the cameras.
How long
You guys
does it-
should
how
really
long
look
does
at
it charge
YouTube. But
for,
the
like-
stabilizer that's holding one of the cameras has now.
We've been on for an hour. We can use that
Died.
for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Yeah,
almost at
we've
an
been
hour.
on for about an hour. We're
Yeah.
good. But
Jumbo.
It's been a good hour. I could go another 3.
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's like-
But
It's been fun. You know, I did an interview.
We'll go an hour and a half though.
I did an interview.
bet.
I think it was about 2 months ago. We were doing the Fight for Marissa show.
Yeah.
shout out.
Yes,
Shouts out.
shout out to Marissa.
Shouts out.
Who, by the way, she's. I know this should have been like a happy moment, but she's not doing any better. Her health is getting worse, and to make the matters even worse, her boyfriend, who was supporting her whole family,
Yeah.
just left her
Oh
like
man.
yesterday.
Wow.
So things definitely aren't going great for her.
Do you want to use my other one?
But
Bummer.
anyway,
Oh.
Is
so
there a page that people can go to and donate?
yes, there is a go. Well, actually, I had a GoFundMe set up, and they decided to take all of the money
What?
that was in that account. And no matter how many times I tried to contact them, they're like, well, that money is not refundable. Sorry,
Yeah.
but
What?
Wow, that's crazy.
What is the reason for taking it?
I don't know. So all I saw in my email was, the money will be refunded to you within like 72 hours.
Mhm.
And, I waited that 72 hours and nothing came back. So I called them and they're like, oh yeah, that's just like what we take out a percentage of it. But you guys took out all of it.
Right.
And they couldn't give me like a straight answer as to why.
You should try contacting the Better Business Bureau.
I could, yeah. But this was just something recent that happened, so I haven't had a chance to really act on that. But we do have there is another like not magazine. I forget what they are exactly, but it's this group called Community Heroes. They're trying to spread the word out even more.
Okay.
So
Good.
and there will be a PayPal account associated with that.
Good.
That way, that money goes directly to her. It's not coming from an outside source,
Right.
it just goes straight to her.
Right.
But anyway, what I was going to say was... Oh, no, I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, I'll just finish my story then. Sorry. Wow. I kind of don't even want to finish it, but I will. So the lady was reclining in her seat, getting punched in the head, or whatever, and the stewardess didn't do anything about it. She complained or whatever. So now she's complaining to Delta, and Delta is now thinking about doing reduced recline seats.
We
Dang.
can't recline as much.
Yeah,
There's already limited space.
I know. What the
So
hell?
I don't fly. When you recline, like you can get all up in somebody's face reclining.
If their tray table is down, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and if they're trying to eat, but I mean, you normally don't ask. I honestly, if the seats are comfortable enough and there's somebody behind me, if there's like a crowded plane and there's somebody like directly behind me, I probably will go a little bit, or if any. But if they're the crowd, I can't talk either today.
I feel it.
Talking about
But if
airplanes,
the plane is not crowded,
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
you're good. If the plane is not crowded, and somebody is behind me and they could clearly move over, I'm just gonna go ahead and recline, because they have the option to move if they want. You know.
So when I was on the airplane, like I said, when I went to Arizona,
Right.
I was more interested in the visuals on the outside
Mm-hmm.
because I had a window seat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I'm in like the cloud of the monsters.
Yeah.
And like the floor was the clouds and it looked beautiful.
Right.
Like you'd be surprised on what you could see up there
Mhm.
and what the clouds can form because
Right.
I like there was a leopard up there. I was like, there's a freaking cloud shaped as a leopard. What? That's sick.
Mm.
But yeah, and it also looks good for slow, like speed time.
Time lapse. I did
time
one of
lapse.
those once. Yeah,
Yeah,
in the plane landing. Yeah, it's dope.
It's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's so freaking cool.
It is.
Just to see everything just go.
It is. And I know Dash is rushing us because he's got to edit and then leave and go somewhere
I'm a
tonight.
busy dude,
So that's
bro.
cool. We'll just jump right into Devil's Advocate. Welcome everybody to Devil's Advocate.
We gotta get some sound effects
Woo! Devil's Advocate. All right, so welcome to this segment, Devil's Advocate. So
I
the
feel like
question.
you rehearsed that, bro.
No, that was all off
Off
the
the
top
dome?
of the dome, bro.
Okay.
So today's question is going to be formal education, and do you need it? Who wants to go? Jump in.
I guess I'll start off just because it was...
Or is it necessary?
I'll start off just because it was a subject I brought up, so I guess I might as well start it.
Right.
So, essentially, radically unschooling your kids is, I think if you let them have a choice in the matter, I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
I think that whenever you look at someone who's gone to school, who's gone to college, gotten their masters, and what do they have to show for it?
Because they always ask for experience
people
at the
don't.
end, right?
Yeah.
Shit. He's talking right to my soul.
It's like, was that your passion, or was that something that somebody told you should be? What was that something that you were really passionate about?
Right.
I think a lot of times that we conform to the way people think we should be, and how society should be.
Right.
And when we talk about, I think all of us have a different version of success and what that means to us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think ultimately the goal is to be happy.
Right.
Be happy with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not happy in your job, why the fuck are you there? It makes no sense.
Okay.
And that's always the kind of the policy I've created for myself was, no matter what job I have to be happy in it. If not, then I have no reason for being there.
Let's go back to the radically unschooling your kids. You said that you think the kids should have a say in it?
Absolutely. I think
How old would you say that they have to be firstly to give them a say in it? Because give just like a 6-year-old? Do you want to go out? Do you want to keep going to school, kid?
Yeah, and the thing is, they can always make the decision to drop out.
Mm-hmm.
That you can always make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make the decision to 10 years later be like, okay, I kind of want to go to elementary school now. Like that, it doesn't work like that.
I think I'll go to school, Mom.
But you
Shaving
can make the decision. Like on the flip side of that, you can make the decision to homeschool yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's still formal education.
Yeah, that is. But that they can make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Based on those facts. Obviously it's not a perfect system. There's
Right.
no such thing as a perfect system. So whether it's right or wrong to do so, I think as long as they have a choice in the matter and know what the repercussions of that is, I think that's a good thing to offer. You know?
I agree with the fact that you said as long as they know what the repercussions are.
Absolutely.
As long as they are old enough to understand what these repercussions are, I can see your point there.
Now I do want to go on record saying that I think it is important to go to school, at first and say, okay, this is how I should be interacting with people.
Mm-hmm.
I think in a social standpoint, I think it's necessary.
Okay.
We do trial runs almost every day as an adult anyway.
They have to. You go to school. I don't care who you are, because chances are, bullies have been bullied themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're bullying people.
Yeah.
It's those of us who are stronger to be able to overcome that and make ourselves a better person out of it. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, you have to overcome adversity.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn social cues and stuff.
Exactly.
Somewhere.
You have to learn how to deal with people.
Right.
And society. So I think solely for that reason, I think at least elementary school, you should do that. But I think after that time period, we should be able to say, okay, do I want to continue on this journey? Do I want to continue homeschool or just discontinue it all? What's really my biggest passion here?
Right.
And some people don't know that until they get higher up in age.
Yeah.
And that's okay. They can still make the decision to be homeschooled at that point. Until they know for sure what they want.
Who else?
I kind of want to jump in and say I feel like I've kind of covered some of this topic already on the show. Either that or we've just talked about it. But
yeah,
I think
something like that.
It's important. I think that the child's choice is important, or the student, the young human, right? Because it's not just a choice of like, okay, well, you're trying to get out of school, or you want to, I don't want to go to school anymore. It's about like, you need to be spending your time focused on what drives you, what you're passionate about, what you want to make a living doing, what you want to be good at.
Absolutely.
And building on that. And a lot of people don't get that from school. Now, a lot of people do, so that's where, it needs to be an educated choice, and there needs to be some sort of, I think, checks and balances to that.
Educated
it can't just
choice.
be like, hey, do you want to not go to school anymore, Timmy? Okay, go hang out with the crackheads on the corner instead. Like,
yeah, that's exactly what I was just trying to say. Yeah,
that's what I chose myself. I didn't go to school. Like, I got high a lot instead.
Because I got
it's a great profession to be in, man.
Because I got high.
It worked until I had to be an adult.
Until you had to be.
So
an
I
It
think
worked
Fair enough.
until you had to be an
I
adult.
think it's a good idea. I think there's a right and a wrong way to implement the idea.
Yeah.
I agree, 100%.
So I'm all for formal education,
Yeah.
but not in like box kind of way, like box kind of thinking. So I picked up this book. It's called Practical Intelligence, right?
Nice.
and it talks about how to use all of your intelligences. Because psychologically speaking, we're known to have 9,
7 or 9. Yeah,
but apparently there's more. I guess it differs from person to person.
those are subgenres.
Yeah, you know.
But
what I'm
I know
saying?
about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that book talks about how practical intelligence is more of knowing how to maximize the best of what's around you instead of only thinking of one way to do it. You know, so you increase the horizon of your thinking essentially through using all of your intelligences, not just IQ. It's a blend of everything. So that's kind of like ties into what these guys are talking about by using your passions, because if you're passionate about something, then you're going to have that drive to do it, and you're going to use all your resources to get that. So internally, your resources are your energy, your everything, you know? So, yeah, I'm all for formal education in that there is information out there, but I'm not about you should have this information just because we say you should have it. Now, there's a place for school, right? Like, otherwise we wouldn't be able to read or write. I mean, we could learn that outside of school, but...
It'd be a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah, and school is super important for just interacting with people socially. That's the most important part. So, yeah.
You see, and I also want to bring up this point. I think... everything around us is constantly changing. And, especially this day and age where technology is becoming more present in our universe. And I think, maybe we should use that to our advantage. Maybe, there's this kid who gets bullied a lot in school. Maybe because he looks different, maybe because he acts different than everybody else. And I understand that because I grew up with autism. I not that I don't have it, still I do.
Okay.
I didn't just grow
say,
out of
you
it.
got rid of it, bro?
Where did it go?
Where'd it go?
Miracle.
Oh, I just
Stored it away for later.
people think it's vaccinations. That's not true. I'm just kidding.
Those damn anti-vaxxers.
No, but I just learned how to cope with those things. Cope with certain sensory issues. Cope with, I always had a problem with communicating, and getting my ideas across clearly. But now, I mean, I'm slow when it comes to speaking. As I guess I should say, thinking and speaking. Those two things are hard to do. Especially in a live setting,
I understand.
But I think we should have a part of the system, the education system, that maybe those kids don't have to physically be there. They can take their elementary...
Like distance learning almost.
Yeah, it's the same thing like online colleges. Maybe we should make the same thing for kids in school.
I found out that they have that for
Do they?
high school students, yeah.
For high school students... Yeah, I mean, I suppose that makes sense.
I think at a certain
homeschool
age,
online.
I think at a certain age though that, like, you don't want to be going to school online at 6, or I don't know, maybe you do with
I mean,
technology these days.
I guess what I
do.
meant was, if they make the decision to not necessarily want to, drop school entirely, but they don't want to do homeschool either, well, they can teach themselves.
Right.
True.
I think that's the route we need to take this. If kids really don't want to be at school that badly, let's give them another alternative.
If they don't want to be at school that badly, I doubt they have the discipline to teach themselves.
Well,
I
some
feel
people
like...
have a different reason for not wanting to be at school every day, like a bully.
Exactly.
Like some kid might get tormented, and there's even teachers that are
I see where you're going with that.
like just kind of mean-spirited and kind of get to a kid's psyche where like they don't realize, neither party realizes that they're doing something wrong, but they're still walking away like fucked up a little inside from the situation,
Or maybe
like,
there's
they just don't want to be there. It's uncomfortable, and it's not like they're not okay.
maybe this kid's going through his or her parents getting divorced. It's a really tough time, and it's hard to want to be around people.
It's kind kind of hard.
You know, but you still want to.
Yeah.
Maybe you still want to learn. So that's the method you take.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of funny how you say that because, in fact, I actually started sloughing school when I was in high school because
Hold on. What?
yeah, sloughing. Like,
Sloughing?
as in
school?
like ditching school.
Oh.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't-
I
I
thought you.
didn't-
I
Oh,
thought
I
you.
thought
It was like a
different type of
trade school or
school.
something. Yeah.
I
I was like, what the fuck is
I went to
this?
Sloughing school.
You-
I went
you
to
know-
Sloughington Academy.
you know.
So back to
You
what
know,
you're saying, Andrew.
Yes, but no, I actually did that, like skip school a lot
Mhm.
because
Right.
I have my insecurities, you know, and I was always getting bullied, especially for my teeth, and I didn't want to deal with that anymore, so I stopped going, and it was also kind of hard because at the time I was also going through a divorce with my parents at 14,
Gotcha.
and that's actually when I moved here because I'm actually from California,
Nice.
so but yeah,
California.
Shouts out.
it's honestly really hard because, like, being in school, like, especially high school, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
and then you spend your time trying to figure out who you are, and you're trying to be what everybody else wants you to be. Whereas you're at home, you do a lot of self exploration at home. You know, you don't have other people's influences influencing your decisions or influencing your actions.
True, but then that goes back to what you were saying earlier about needing that social interaction, especially
that-
in your developing years.
And I think that's true to a point. But, in instances like this, something devastating happens to their family.
Mm-hmm.
It destroys a part of who you thought you were.
Right.
Just like if you were in a relationship with a significant other for 10 years, after getting out of that relationship, you feel like an entirely different person,
Right.
Yeah.
whether it's for the better or worse.
Mhm.
So I think, in those cases, maybe that's a good thing, is for them to say, okay, I think maybe I need to take a step back and focus on things at home
Yeah.
without people getting in my head saying, I'll never be this, I'll never be that.
That's actually what happened to me. Is I actually dropped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had that issue.
Same. I
So-
dropped out 'cause I was on drugs.
So, Andrew, do you think it's that formal education is necessary?
I think it can go both ways, honestly, because
Yeah.
of opinion,
Mhm.
really, and everybody has one.
Right.
So I mean, it can go six one way, half a dozen the other.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Like you can have somebody who absolutely believes that their kid has to go to school,
Right.
and then you have other people that don't necessarily agree with that.
Uh-huh.
You know, and there's a big portion of people in Utah that are like that.
Uh-huh.
They will say, okay, well, let's homeschool you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
And, I mean, me personally, I think that if you can do what you want to do without having to go to school
Mhm.
and succeed at it,
Mhm.
you don't need it.
Yeah.
You really don't. 'Cause,
Okay.
I mean, me personally, the profession that I'm trying to get into,
Mhm.
I don't need a high school diploma,
Right.
and that's what it's about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I feel like going to school gives you a certificate that a lot of jobs will look at, and you'll either go somewhere or you won't.
Right.
But are those the jobs that you want is the question.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And some people might.
So-
exactly.
I have some
So,
insight on
Reg,
this.
being the only one out of all of us with a degree, what do you think?
Yeah, so I was gonna say I have some experience in this. So I have, here's my perspective, okay? It being from Alabama, all right?
Mhm.
I think formal education is absolutely necessary to a certain point. All right? A lot of information, we always talk about this, we always joke about this. A lot of information that we learned in school, the Pythagorean theorem, things like that, we don't use, and we absolutely do not use it. I don't know the last time I thought about Pythagoras or his theorem.
I don't know when the last time I had to do any kind of algebraic equation or anything for my job or.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, up to a certain point, I think it is absolutely necessary. I would say even all the way up through high school, just because those are formative years and you need those social interactions. You do need to, and then especially like those things happen in high school. Prom, that's an iconic thing. You don't want that to go away. Football, that's where you find your love for theater or music, because I was in the marching band, or you find your love for, you know what I mean, anything really.
It's just like an exploration playground.
Exactly,
Yeah.
especially in high school. College is 3 times that. I actually, you were talking about people who have masters. I have a master's.
Doing what?
And I'll explain that. But like I was gonna say in the beginning, I'm a Black American guy from Alabama. All right, education is your number one priority. You better go to school and get a degree. All right, because that's the only way we can get ahead, or that's the only way that I can get ahead. That's what I was taught. Younger.
Right.
But I do have a bachelor's in Spanish and speech communications, and then a master's in second language instruction. I do not teach. I do not want to teach. I went to school. I was like halfway through my master's program, and then realized I did not want to be a teacher. But I was like, I'm halfway there. I'll just finish it out and get a master's because I'll be more marketable in the job market. That's a fucking lie.
See, and to build on top of that, so my wife actually did this.
Yeah.
Now she only has a high school diploma.
I work in a place. Like my job, I'm the manager of what I do, and I could have done that with a high school diploma. Anytime anyone asks me, anytime someone asks me, why are you working here? They'll find out how educated I am. Why are you working here? I'm just like, I needed to move. I mean, needed money when I moved here to Utah, and I'm just still fucking here. But sorry for interrupting.
Oh no, you're fine. But what I was gonna say is, my wife wanted to be a teacher,
Right.
and so she took up this substituting job, which only required a high school diploma.
Right.
Just kind of get her feet wet and see what it's all about. So she did that and realized, you know what, maybe I don't want to teach.
Right.
But what you don't need to. And this kind of takes me back to, is schooling necessary? Yes, depending on what you want to do, and how far do I want to go with this?
Right.
I think the smarter way to go about that would have been, and I don't know what's available out there in Alabama, but here at least, you had the option to do the substituting job and see, is this what I really want to do?
Right.
And then if you like that, then go ahead, go get your master's.
Right.
And I think that's a mistake a lot of people tend to make, because they get a lot of pressure from not just their teachers, but from their parents too, saying,
Oh, definitely.
It's just
like, we got to get you into college. We got to get you into college.
Definitely.
And you're spending all this time saying, oh, I gotta figure out what I want to do, and that decision is rushed.
Yeah, for sure. Like for me, I was pre-med in undergrad before I changed it to Spanish and foreign language and everything. And then even in my master's, I did get a opportunity to teach classes. That's how I knew.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how I knew I didn't want to fucking do that.
That
I did
that makes
not want to be a
sense.
teacher.
Yeah.
But I will not take it back I would go back and do it all over again, get my master's, because just being in college and being in school afforded me so many opportunities, like traveling. That's really the reason why I was going to become a teacher, because you could teach in other countries. And that's really why I was trying to do it. Travel is my number one priority. I love traveling. But in college, it allowed me to go to different places. Like I went to China because I was in college. I was able to go to like the Caribbean a few times, Mexico, and Europe, all types of places. So I wouldn't take back the opportunities that I personally
You've been everywhere.
Gay. I've been quite a few places, South America too, because of school. But I wouldn't take back any of those, things. Or, like I said, I'd do it all over again. But I don't think it's necessary for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For those types of interactions and opportunities, if you want those opportunities, I say yeah, go for it. Because college taught me how to network. You know what I mean? I'm still learning, but it taught me how to. But people, like you said it yourself, JT, your friend, they got unlawfully enrolled. What was it?
Radically unschooled.
Yeah, right. That one, radically unschooled. They got radically unschooled, and one of them's like a millionaire or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, like I said, there are opportunities now. Kids out there, don't think that's for everybody. You just got to figure out your thing. We've been talking about passions and things like that. So, if it works for you, then it absolutely works. But I do believe that'll be it for tonight. I appreciate it. You guys have anything else you want to plug?
All I want to see. Here I go again, trying to break things.
All night.
Anyway, I do want to say, go check out our Spotify. If you have Apple Music, go download us on there. Google Play, Amazon, we're on all of it. iHeartRadio even.
Both Outvoted and Echo Muse.
Absolutely. New song coming out on the 25th, and for Outvoted, a new song on April 15th.
And a new skit on the way. So check it out.
You shout out social medias and everything?
Absolutely. We're on Facebook, Instagram. I don't think we're on Twitter, but we might be. Worth a check. But yeah, go and.
What is it? Echo Muse Band?
Yep, Echo Muse. And I'm sure if you were to type us up, all you'd have to type in is Echo Muse and you'll find us.
Okay. All right.
But
And same with Outvoted. It's just Outvoted.
Outvoted and Echo Muse. Look those up.
absolutely.
Shouts outs all
Shouts
the way,
out.
all the day.
And as always, you can all follow me on Instagram at RegTravels. And then follow us on social media at Convosariesep. If you have any complaints or comments, what have you,
Questions,
Hit
devil's
us
hit us
up.
up. If you just want to hit us up, Devil's Advocates, that's right. If you have
We need
any
some of
ideas for
those,
Devil's
yeah.
Advocates, hit us up on convosariesep@gmail.com.
And you can follow me at Dash Makota on all platforms.
Hell yeah. And thank you for tuning in, as always. And that's Mike, Super Short Show. Anybody? No.
Also, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. Think about what you. I can't speak. I'm a little drunk. Forgive me.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Leave a comment in the comment section about what you think about radically unschooling your kids.
Oh, yeah, true about
yeah,
that.
let us know.
Let
Mike's
us know.
always.
Super
That's
Short
interesting.
Show. All right,
I'm
guys.
interested as well.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.
Woo!
And it's a wrap.
Later.
Yeah.